Ancient mythology says wizards are known to possess magic, but this season Tracy McGrady and Orlando have owned Washington. T-Mac casts the spells for his magic, while the Wizards counter with Gilbert Arenas, who's going through a magical stretch of games himself, tying the franchise record for three-pointers made, recording his second career triple-double, and scoring 25 or more points in 5 consecutive games. Can Gilbert match T-Mac and help the Wiz get the magic back? From the TD Waterhouse Center in Orlando, the Magic host the Wizards. Next. Comcast Sportsnet presents Wizards basketball tonight live from the TD Waterhouse Center in Orlando, Florida. It's the Washington Wizards and the Orlando Magic. The Wizards in the second of a back-to-back after their worst loss of the season last night, 117-87 to Denver. Tonight, the Wiz look for their first win in 4 games against the NBA's leading scorer, Tracy McGrady, and the Orlando Magic coming off an 11-point loss last night in Miami. Hi folks, great to be with you tonight for Wizards Hoops from Orlando. Steve Buckhantz with Phil Chenier. And not only was that 30-point loss to Denver the worst loss of the season for the Wizards, it was a costly one as well. Kwame Brown, Jarvis Hayes, Jared Jeffries all suffered some sort of injury. None are expected to play tonight.
Well, I'll tell you, if you add the names of Hughes, Stackhouse, and Whitney, that brings the number of players eligible and suited up tonight to 8. Now, we see Jared warming up, so we don't know if he's going to play. But what that means is more minutes, more shots, and more responsibilities for other players, including Juan Dixon. You know, he's had his number called quite a bit lately. In fact, in the last 3 games, he's been averaging 39 minutes, 20 points, and made half of his shot, nearly half of his shot, also 3 assists and 3 rebounds. But don't be surprised if tonight, because of the injury situation, if Juan has his 3rd consecutive game of 40 minutes or more.
Well, with 20 games to go in the regular season, the Wizards are 0 for Florida. 3 losses to Miami, 3 losses to Orlando.
Well, Orlando coming into this game, one of the worst defensive teams, but they've done well against Washington, holding them under 95 points. Their shooting percentage around 41%. Even rebounding, where they are dead last, they've matched Washington's effort there. On the other side, you see their offense very strong, averaging 100 points, and also doing a good job with 21 assists a game.
Well, the Magic lost last night in Miami by 11. They've dropped 2 in a row. As good as Tracy McGrady is, and he leads the league in scoring, he plays even better against the Wizards.
He's going for his 2nd consecutive NBA scoring title. If he is to get that, he would be only the 9th player in NBA history to get back-to-back scoring titles. You're right, leading the league with 27 points, but against Washington, he seems to have his best games always, going back to 2 years from almost the date where he had his first 50-point games. This year, no different. His scoring up 6 points, his rebounding and assists, even field goal percentage up. Remember, he had 18 of his 39 points in the first quarter in their last meeting.
Lots of familiar faces in the house, none more so than this guy, Juwan Howard, who played 6+ seasons for the Wizards and now averages 16 points and 7 rebounds for Orlando. Wizards and the Magic are coming up from Central Florida. Well, last night the Wizards lost to the Nuggets by 30, and it was a costly one. Jared Jeffries, Kwame Brown had a bad ankle. Jarvis Hayes with a hamstring. You see his left leg wrapped up. Kwame and Jarvis are out of tonight's game. However, Jared Jeffries not only dresses out, he will start tonight, and that's good news for the Wizards, who thought they may be without Jared Jeffries this evening. We take a look at our forward starting lineups. First for your Washington Wizards. With a record of 20 wins and 42 losses, Wizards are 6th in the Atlantic, 18 games behind the first-place Nets. Washington 14-19 at home, 6-23 on the road. Gilbert Arenas and Juan Dixon get the start. Gilbert, in his last 6 games, averaging 29 points and 6 assists on 46% shooting. And in the front court for Washington, it is Jared Jeffries, with Brendan Haywood and Christian Laettner, who will make his 17th start of the season tonight. Last night against the Nuggets, Brendan with 10 points on 4 of 6 shooting. The head coach in his first season in Washington is DC's own Eddie Jordan, with an overall record now as a head coach of 53 wins, 106 losses. Eddie is assisted by Michael Corrin, Phil Hubbard, Tom Young, and the Wizards trainer is Steve Stricker. The Orlando Magic have dropped 2 in a row. They're 18-48 on the year. That's 7th in the Atlantic, 22 games behind first place New Jersey. Magic are 9-23 at home, 9-25 on the road. They'll start former Wizard Tyronn Lue with Tracy McGrady in the backcourt. T-Mac leads the league in scoring, and in the last game against Washington, had 39 points and 9 rebounds. In the front court, it's newly acquired Deshaun Stevenson with Andrew DeClercq and Juwan Howard. Stevenson last night at Miami with 18 points on 8 of 15 shooting, getting his 9th start tonight. Juwan Howard has played for 4 NBA teams since 2001. The Wizards, the Mavs, the Nuggets, and the Magic. The head coach in his first season is Johnny Davis, who took over for Doc Rivers on November 17th. After Rivers was fired following 4+ seasons as head coach here, Davis had been an assistant with the Magic since 1999. All right, let's take a look at the Jim Coleman keys to tonight's game. Phil?
Steve, we'll call this our over and under. First of all, on offense, Washington wants to get over 100 points and at least outdo their opponents in assists. The Magic are last in the league in defense, as I mentioned, giving their opponents 101 points and also yielding over 24 assists a game. The under is under 100 points and under 50% shooting. Of course, that's been a problem with Washington all year. For the Magic, defense has been a problem all year, rebounding especially. They've been out-rebounded in 47 of their 66 games. They're 9-38 in those games have been out-rebounded. And their secret weapon, T-Mac, obviously averaging 33 points, but in each of the other wins, one other player at least has had significant contributions. Shammond Williams had a season-high 17 points, Lee Nalen and Keith Bogans. And then the last game, Rod Strickland and Juwan Howard put up big numbers. So, you know, they have a secret weapon, but I feel like we should almost have a disclaimer with the new faces that are changing up.
Exactly. Well, wait till we get to Atlanta and talk about new faces. They got 8 new guys on the team.
I'm talking about our guys. I mean, they're not new faces, but I mean, when you have to adjust the lineup the way they have at the last minute.
I talked to Dwayne Terrell prior to the game. He said, can you lobby to get me a 10-day contract? They could use him. T. Lue comes up with a steal the first play of the game to Juwan Howard, who scores. And the former Wizard has his team out 2-0.
I hope this isn't a bad omen, but I just saw Juan going down and he's limping back over to get a 20 seconds.
That's unbelievable. We'll take
and it happened
look.
on that first play. He couldn't even go after the ball.
Wow.
T. Lue, one of the more aggressive defenders and very solid. Whoa. His right ankle turned over, just didn't stop.
So Juan comes out and is replaced now by Mitchell Butler, who we thought initially might get his first start of the season, but Jared Jeffries starting in somewhat of a surprise to us. However, Jeffries did hurt the right knee last night. Nothing to do with the surgery, although it is the same knee. Gilbert Arenas' first shot. Laettner's there to tip it in. So we understand that the knee that Jared Jeffries hurt last night had nothing to do with his surgery, but it is the same knee, and he's starting this evening. Here's T-Mac.
You got to understand that he's probably still a little sore, regardless of how much damage is done. And what does he have to do? He has to come out and guard the leading scorer in the NBA, Tracy McGrady.
Tough challenge for Jeffries, although he is one of the better defensive players on the Wizards, often drawing the other team's leading scorer. Here's Christian Laettner. Laettner's jumper no good, and Juwan Howard gets the rebound. Juwan averaging 7 boards. Has played 66 games, started 62 for this team, and has played well against the Wizards as well this season. Here's McGrady. Backs up on Laettner for the open jumper. Good.
Remember that game that he had the last meeting, scored 18 points in the first quarter, and I think he had 11 points before Eddie Jordan could get a timeout.
Against the Wizards this year, McGrady has scored 27, 35, and 39 in the 3 games respectively. Butler penetrates and lays it in. Nice move by Mitchell Butler in his 8th year from UCLA. Started his career with the Bullets. Steve Buckhatz and Phil Chenier as this brief 2-game road trip commences here in Orlando. The Wizards will be in Atlanta Friday night. McGrady again, in and out. And then back home to face the Boston Celtics at MCI Center Saturday night. Always a good matchup against the Celtics. Get your tickets for that game. As the Wizards try to snap a 3-game losing streak. Here's Haywood. Rendon penetrates and travels. Wizards are 29th in the league in turnovers, averaging 17.4. And it'll be interesting, Phil, because Orlando is 4th in the league in turnovers at 13.4.
That's one thing, one area that they do a very good job in protecting the basketball.
Magic have won 2 fewer games than the Wizards this year, 18. And the jumper no good by McGrady. But it all started, really, if you talk to these folks, with that 19-game losing streak after they won the first game of the year against the Knicks. It's been downhill ever since then. T. Lue lost it out of bounds, and the Magic will get it back. Talk about digging yourself a hole. You lose 19 straight games. Tough to bounce back from that.
Absolutely. I mean, you know that you've dug such a deep hole. You have to have a tremendous effort just to get back on even ground.
T. Lue, short jumper, can't get the roll, and Brendan Haywood is there. Magic 3 of 7 from the field. Wizards are 2 of 4. Magic in Miami last night. They lost by 11. Wizards lost by 30 to the Nuggets at MCI Center. Gilbert Arenas, the fadeaway jumper, can't get it to go. Tip up not there, and DeClerc has it. Here comes Tyronn Lue. Former Laker who the Wizards acquired 3 years ago. Tough move by Deshaun Stevenson. Knocked out of bounds, goes to the Wizards. Stevenson coming to Orlando from Utah, and a future second-round pick for Gordan Giracek on February 19th. He's played in 11 games now for this team.
Yeah, he was one of those guys that came straight out of high school also.
Leitner penetrates, kicks it out to Arenas with 7 to shoot. Around Stevenson. Taken away by DeClerc, and a foul is called.
Well, DeClerc's going to argue about that, but we had an excellent view of seeing the body kind of bang. Gilbert's by him, and there you see the body contact. He gets the ball up clean top, but a lot of contact down below.
Arenas misses the first. Hey fans, the Washington Mystics 2004 season is just around the corner with prices as low as $8 per seat per game. There's a Washington Mystics ticket plan that's right for you. Groups of 20 or more get $3 off each ticket. For more information or to set up your ticket plan, call 202-661-5050 to come see Michael Adams and the Washington Mystics.
We have 2 former Bullet coaches. Miguel Eckert will be assisting him, so should be pretty fun. A lot of fun.
Arenas, after making 1 free throw, the Wizards come back the other way. And it's a 6-5 Orlando lead. Inside to Jeffries. Nice pass to Butler, who missed the shot. McGrady got hit on the nose. He'll bring it up.
Good job defensively. Nick Laker was the one that stepped in and picked the pass off.
First turnover by Orlando. The Wizards have committed 3 so far. Jeffries trying to keep it alive, tips it out of bounds. The Magic average 95 points a game, which is 10th in the league. They give up more points than any team in the league, 101. However, the Wizards in 3 games have not reached that number. They've scored 91, 92, and 100. Three-pointer from T. Lue. And it's a 9-5 Magic lead. Wizards trying to avoid a sweep at the hands of this team. The last time the Magic swept the Wizards 4 straight games was in the 99-2000 season, as Gilbert Arenas hits for 2. The last time the Wizards swept the Magic in 4 straight was 1989-90. T. Lue kicks it out to Deshaun, over to T-Mac. To T. Lue, nice fake. And 3 seconds is called. Too many passes for Orlando.
Yeah, we've said that over and over again when that starts to happen. And you like to see the ball swung around quickly where the defense is chasing. But you got to remember your big men are trying to set up and establish inside rebounding position. DeClercq just got caught in that lane.
Magic won the first game against the Wizards back in December at MCI Center, 95-91. They won the second game January 9th in Orlando, 103-92. T-Mac had 35 in that one. And they won the third meeting, 104-100, January 28th in Washington. Tracy had 39 in that game. Arenas knocked away. And it looks like it'll go to Orlando with a timeout on the floor. 5:47 to go in a rather low-scoring first quarter. It's the Magic by 2.
Wizards post-game live. Celtics and Wizards Saturday night, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Well, the last time the Wizards and Magic hooked up was January 28th in Washington. Juwan Howard had a nice game with 21 points. Wizards got a huge game from Kwame Brown with 15 points and 15 rebounds. But Tracy McGrady did what he does best, scorched them for 39, and the Magic won 104-100. And the Wizards without Kwame Brown tonight. He sprained an ankle last night. The Wizards are without Jarvis Hayes tonight. He injured his hamstring last night. Tracy McGrady, who averages 27.5 points per game, which is number 1 in the league, averages 33.7 against the Wizards.
I thought that number would be a little higher in terms of his career numbers against Washington because he's had some pretty big scoring nights.
The Magic are struggling from the field, 4 of 11. Gilbert Arenas off the glass short and saved into T. Lue.
Yeah, both teams shooting under 40%.
Lue goes all the way, has it blocked from behind, and Mitchell Butler saves it in. Nicely done. T. Lue gathers himself at the other end. 5 on 4. Jeffries for the open jumper, short. Out of bounds to Orlando. Magic 9-23 here, 9-25 on the road.
Well, T. Lue was given a stop and go, but still not enough to avoid the block shot. It looked like Mitchell Butler was the one that got it, either he or Leitner.
I think they credit it to Leitner, Phil, and that would be his second of the quarter. Christian getting the start tonight. Juwan Howard in and out. Boy, neither team can really get a basket here, and Orlando's had all kinds of easy looks. T-Mac right now 2 for 4, has 4 points. Arenas, nice pass to Haywood inside, and he misses the short jumper. Brendan gets it back and gets hit in the face, and I believe they'll give him 2. Second personal foul on Andrew DeClercq.
A good setup that time from Gilbert Arenas. Even though Brendan didn't handle the initial pass, he still was able to come up with the loose ball and then the missed shot, and goes to the line for 2.
Maryland's Lonnie Baxter checks into the game, and Christian Leitner gets a rest.
Well, Eddie Jordan's really going to have to keep an eye on the minutes and the foul situation too, if that becomes an issue. But you know, with 8 or 9 guys, we expect to see Juan Dixon back. We were told that he rolled his ankle over, but he's going to be all right. They're going to retape it, and we should expect to see him back in the lineup.
Lonnie Baxter claimed off waivers on March 3rd. Stevenson jumper good. Deshaun Stevenson, who's playing in his 11th game for Orlando, his 65th overall. And they've been moving him around to the point guard spot. Nice drive by Arenas.
Good finish.
Latan Thomas comes into the Washington lineup and replaces Brendan Haywood, who leaves with 1 point and 3 rebounds. Wizards are 4 of 12 from the field. The Magic 5 of 14 so far.
Boy, it's fun to watch Eddie Jordan just try and work these guys. He's trying to just build confidence and not allow them to think about the circumstances.
Sean Rooks in the game, misses the shot. Another jumper is up, that's no good. Jawan is there, hacked from behind. And it appears he'll go to the line. Orlando is 26th in the league in rebounding. Only Phoenix, Seattle, and Toronto are worse on the boards.
Yeah, and when I said earlier about them being last in rebounding, I meant in terms of their opponents. Their opponents average more rebounds than anybody else. And I think I mentioned that they've been out-rebounded in 47 or 48 of the 66 games. So, that's not a good number, and it's not a good way to try and get yourself wins to go from a rebounding deficit.
Jawan played his first 6+ seasons in Washington after the Bullets drafted him 5th overall in '94. Traded to Dallas with Calvin Booth and Obinna Kesey for Leitner and Atan Thomas, Courtney Alexander, Loy Vaught, and Hubert Davis in February of 2001. Played about a season there in Dallas and then traded to Denver with Donnell Harvey and Tim Hardaway for Nick Van Exel, Rafe LaFrentz, Avery Johnson, and Tariq Abdul-Wahed. And then the Magic signed him as a free agent this past July. Arenas from way outside, missed it.
He was out by the Magic sign out there near half court.
McGrady penetrates, kicks it out to Rooks. He'll take the jumper and miss it. Magic now 29% from the field. And the Wizards turn it over. 5 turnovers for Washington. They average 17.4 per game. Wizards are 20-42. This time last year they were 30-32. Jawan inside, that's blocked.
It was blocked by Butler.
Thomas picks it up for Arenas. Gilbert set, shoots, and misses. Wizards shooting 4 of 14 from the field.
Gilbert's been shooting those threes well, but he may want to be a little bit more patient in pulling the trigger on those. And, like we said before, he has the ability to have an impact on the game in a variety of ways.
3 to shoot. Howard fadeaway jumper, too short. And Atan Thomas is there. 3rd rebound for Atan. Here's Mitchell Butler. Tip up by Arenas left-handed. Game tied at 12. Howard pushed out of the way, and it looks like it'll be Lonnie Baxter to pick up the loose ball foul. Neither team shooting well. Game is tied at 12 with 1:59 to go, first quarter. All right, here's a look at the Toyota League leaders. Once again, Tracy McGrady is #1 in the league in scoring and trying to take advantage of Allen Iverson's injury situation. Tracy at 27.5 points a game. Also averages 6 rebounds, 5.5 assists. He's 17th in the league in that category. And 1.4 steals, which is 25th. This is what he's done so far tonight.
Yeah, recently, in fact, last month, he became the youngest, second youngest, I should say, youngest player to reach 10,000 points, only 24 years old, less than 25, 24 and some odd days. How many? I thought you were looking up a chart there.
Jawan inside against Lonnie Baxter. 10 to shoot. Dumps it inside. And a foul is called. And that'll send Tracy McGrady to the line.
Well, neither team is shooting the ball well, needless to say, both under 35%. And Tracy trying to make something happen inside. Can't get the roll, but he will go to the line. But Washington is getting the battle of the boards. They're out-rebounding the Magic 13-9 and getting the points in the paint. 8 points in the paint, 5 second chance points. So we said that that's an area that they can really attack this team, even with the depleted lineup that they have. This Orlando team has really had problems all season long with rebound and defense.
McGrady, who is 37th in the league in free throw shooting, makes 1 of 2. And the Magic lead 13-12. Steve Buckhantz with Phil Chenier. Juan Dixon, in fact, back in the game after turning his right ankle. He had it retaped, as Phil mentioned, and he's back. Here's Etan Thomas. Short jump hook, and the Wizards have the lead at 14-13. Boy, to say the Wizards are depleted and shorthanded might be the understatement of the season. Stackhouse and Hughes out. Kwame out tonight. Jarvis Hayes out. Jeffries playing hurt, and now Juan Dixon playing hurt. Team dressing only 9 players. 8 is the league minimum.
Well, we thought it was going to be that number until we saw Jared Jeffries come out in uniform.
Deshaun Stevenson, who played 3.5 years in Utah in the 2-guard spot, being worked into the point guard position here. Tracy McGrady can't get it to go. Gets the rebound. And throws it away. Turned it over. Nothing but Wizards in the lane. Jeffries trying to bring it up the court. Saves it to Dixon. Thomas, short jumper. A little bit off the rim. And here comes Jawan. Stevenson can't get the roll. Magic are 6 for 24 from the field, 25%. Blake goes all the way and lays it off the glass, tipped out of bounds. Give it to the Wizards. 7/10 of a second remain in the period, and the Magic have a 1-point lead. Dixon, that's good if it goes, and it nearly did. 27% shooting for the Wizards, 25% shooting for the Magic. 7 points for Gilbert Arenas on 3 of 8 field goals, and after 1 in Orlando, it's the Magic 15 and the Wizards 14. Area Volkswagen dealers, proud sponsors of the Washington Wizards. Well, Tracy McGrady is 24 years old. He's in his 7th year. He, of course, out of high school, Mount Zion Academy, a basketball factory down in Durham, North Carolina. Kwame Brown, who's in his 3rd year in the league, not playing tonight. Kwame turned 22 years old today.
Today's Kwame's birthday.
It is March 10th. Happy birthday to Kwame Brown. And a foul is called on Steve Blake. I thought he had all ball, but the officials thought otherwise.
Well, he almost caught a elbow from Sean Rooks. Watch his left elbow come out.
Man.
He nearly caught it.
That will give Orlando the ball. This is the lowest scoring. There's Kwame. Happy 22nd birthday. Unfortunate that he's not able to play tonight after turning an ankle last night in the loss to Denver. Lowest first quarter of the season for Orlando. And 2 more points for T-Mac, who has 9 points in the game on 4 of 7 shooting. He's got 3 rebounds and an assist. Tracy had that 51 points at Denver beginning of the season. Season high for him. Etan Thomas, 8 to shoot, backs in, short jump hook, and gets fouled. Called on Stephen Hunter. First personal, Etan Thomas to shoot 2. Here's another look.
Just does a good job of working his way in for good position. Hunter comes across the arm to commit the foul.
Cars, trucks, and SUVs. Call 1-888-418-2222 or visit easterns.com. Thomas will get another, missed the first. That makes 1 of 2. So this is the first game of the season that Kwame Brown has missed, Phil. Played in all 62 previous games, and that's unfortunate. McGrady's starting to heat up. He's got 11. Leitner the other way scores. Christian Leitner got his 17th start of the year tonight. He averages 6 points and about 5 rebounds a game in his 12th year from Duke. Easy short jumper for Stephen Hunter in his 3rd year from DePaul. Also in the game, DeMatha's Keith Bogans, who wears number 3. Leitner again pulls the trigger, and this time he misses. Here's Bogans. Keith goes all the way, lays it off. It's tipped away by Leitner to Orlando. Keith Bogans was a Parade All-America and a McDonald's All-America at DeMatha his senior year. Varsity letters all 4 seasons with the Stags. Only one other player has done that. We saw him last night. That's right. Good little trivia question.
Where were we last night?
We were at home last night against Denver. That should give you a hint. Still don't know who it is? He owes us a dinner. How about that?
That's right.
Adrian Dantley.
He got a little upset with us, I think. We told him he still owed us dinner.
T. Lou misses. T. Mack the rebound and a loose ball foul on Washington. I don't think Adrian Dantley believed us when we took. Of course, Adrian used to be on the Comcast Sportsnet post-game show last couple of seasons. And he didn't believe us when we told him that he owed us dinner.
He kind of forgot, yeah, but you just reminded him, just touched his memory a little bit.
Said he misses D.C. too, doesn't he?
Oh, he said he's never leaving, really. He loves the D.C. area, but he loves what he's doing, it seems like, working with the group there in Denver and the whole coaching staff. And Jeff Gazdelik on down, being quite successful with that team.
This quarter, Tracy McGrady hasn't missed. He's 4 for 4, has 8 points and 15 in the game. Arenas is free for the open jumper. That's no good. Magic by 8. T-Mac again. Look out. Eddie Jordan wants time. 18 points in the game for Tracy McGrady on 8 of 11 shooting. And with 9:13 to go in the half, the Magic have established an advantage with a 9-0 run in the last minute and a half.
They've certainly separated themselves right now. They have an 11-point lead.
Wizards general manager Ernie Grunfeld in attendance tonight. I had a chance to spend quite a bit of time with Ernie this afternoon, talk about the team currently and the future of the team. It was very interesting to pick his brain, get into the psyche of not only the players on the team, but what he's thinking for this squad in the future. And like a lot of folks, he's looking forward to getting his hands dirty, so to speak, doing what he does best. McGrady's jumper, no good. Ernie known for making some terrific moves, not only in Milwaukee the last 4 years, but with the Knicks organization as well.
Not afraid to make moves when he feels strong about something. And there, the last foul on Brendan Haywood. But
he told me, Phil, that he is not adverse to trading anybody, which we know because we've seen him do it. But he says, I'm not trading anybody for nobody.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I trade somebody, it's going to be for somebody that's going to make an impact on the team.
Yeah. And I think everybody tries to do that, tries to get equal value or what they see as equal value and something that in their situation will definitely improve the team.
Right.
Tried the back door, just didn't get through. It was Hunter that came up with the steal.
Keith Bogans from long range, no good. Wizards trying to avoid a sweep at the hands of this squad. Gilbert Arenas for three. Gilbert with 81 three-pointers on the season. And Gilbert has 10 points in the game.
He's taken a couple of threes tonight that are good 5-6 feet behind the line.
Now a little double team action on T-Mac. Cuts inside, lays it up and in. How smooth is he, Phil?
Well, it's just like we talked about Carmelo Anthony last night, how smooth they are, but confident. Never get frazzled or out of the pocket. And right there, you saw the Wizards sent 2-3 different players, defenders, after him. He still maintained his dribble and made his way and ended up with the layup.
Charged the foul to Keith Bogans, his first. Stevenson and Juwan Howard checked back into the lineup for Johnny Davis's squad. There's T. Lue. Played the last 2 years in Washington. Last season played 75 games. And averaged a career best 8.6 points, 3.5 assists, and a couple of rebounds. Arenas with a heck of a move.
Yes.
Gilbert averaging 19.5 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Missed 26 games with the abdominal strain. Playing tonight in his 37th game for the Wizards. Here's T-Mac again. Unbelievable.
You see how quickly, once he gave the ball up, he went right back after Hunter and got the ball back. I mean, he's feeling like he can't be stopped right now, and he wants to take over.
Magic with their largest lead of the game, 12 points.
Oh, watch this move by Gilbert Arenas, using the left hand. Remember, he's a righty. And then knives through, slides over to the other side of the shot blocker, Stephen Hunter, and gets it off the glass.
Gilbert 1 of 2 from the free throw line tonight, a 72% free throw shooter. Also recently turned 22 years old. Played and started in all 82 games last year with Golden State. Averaged 18 points, almost 5 rebounds, and 6.3 assists, and of course named the most improved player in the NBA.
Yeah. You know, we started off the season talking about the youth of this team. But you know, I was going through the lineup again, and you're right, saw the 22 for Gilbert, Kwame.
Juwan Howard drives and scores.
Brendan Haywood, Blake, and Juan Dixon, very young team. And right now, obviously not getting the wins that they would like to, but hopefully consider it paid dues and trying to make themselves into a very competitive team.
7 to shoot for Gilbert Arenas and the Wizards. Blocked. Stevenson the other way. For Keith Bogans, he lays it in. Leitner baseline. Strong move by Christian. Christian in his 3rd year with the Wizards. The 4th overall pick in 1992 by Minnesota. He's played with a few teams, including the one we'll see Friday night, the Atlanta Hawks. In fact, he had a couple of his best years in both Atlanta and Minnesota. Arenas is held by Stevenson. So the Magic are off and running here with 5:48 to go in the first half.
Steve, we just got through talking about the youth on this team, and particularly the big men here. And let's take a look at what they've done over the last 3 games. First of all, you can see their line combined average 26 points, 20 rebounds, 44% shooting. They lost all 3 of those games. Now, before that, remember, they won 4 of 5. And that time, averaged nearly 32 points, 23 rebounds, 61% shooting, and individually had 5 double-doubles. Kwame had 3, Atan 2 of those. And I'm not saying that they're the reason that the team is losing, but again, you can see the kind of impact they can have when they're playing well. Again, very young team, and these guys have shown marked improvement already, but obviously you still want to get better and start to seeing a few more W's.
Magic on a 19-8 run in the last 5+ minutes. Juan Dixon will try for three. That's way short. And pulled down by Juan Dixon. Juan will shoot another. Stevenson, and he'll pull it out. Tracy McGrady has 24 points. His season high for a first half is 34, which he had at Cleveland on January 26th. And his career high for a half is 37, which he had against Denver on March 9th in 2003.
Yeah, I mean, the guy is really scary. I mean, he just seemed to flick a switch, and he turned it on, and he's been hitting shots ever since the beginning of this quarter.
Bogans fires up an air ball, and the Wizards get it back, trailing 38-25. Steve Buckhantz and Phil Chenier and our Comcast Sportsnet crew. Here's Dixon. And Juwan with another rebound, his fourth of the game.
Well, that's 3 in a row missed shots by Juan, and all of them open shots.
That brings Mitchell Butler up off the Wizards bench. McGrady is held by Jared Jeffries and a foul call. Mitchell Butler comes in for Juan Dixon. Juan 0 for 4 from the field, has no free throws either, and 1 rebound so far in the game. Sprained his ankle on the first play of the game, had it retaped, and so he's not quite 100%. T-Mac drives on Jeffries, lays it off. And the jumper by Juwan Howard is good. Juwan Howard against the Wizards this year in 3 games, 15 points, 9 rebounds in the first. 10 points, 12 rebounds in the second. 21 points, 4 rebounds the last time they played.
Yeah, that last game in particular, he and Rod Strickland really played well, and they made the big difference.
Arenas no good. Haywood trying for the rebound, gets it and misses. Leitner is there, and he gets hit and fouled. They'll call it on Deshaun Stevenson as the Magic enjoy their largest lead of the game, 15.
Well, Brendan staying after it, coming up with the shot. We've been seeing him successful on those type of jump hook shots, but tonight this hasn't fallen for him. He's missed all 4 of his field goal attempts.
Christian Leitner to the free throw line, 29 of 36 on the season for Christian. Gets the first, had his season high of 17 points at Memphis this year. 13 rebounds against Dallas, tied his career high with 9 assists against the Warriors. And also tied his career with 5 blocks, his career high. That came against the Mavericks. Knocked out of bounds by Haywood, who came out to challenge McGrady.
12 seconds to shoot. 12 seconds.
Timu open for the jumper. Got it. Lou averaged 9.5 points, 2.5 rebounds, 4.2 assists.
Oh, there. Brendan finally got one down, and looked like he may have even got fouled, but showed some strength.
McGrady, quick jumper, that's off. And Haywood is there. 5 rebounds for Brendan as Arenas goes the other way, misses, tip no good, and a loose ball foul is called on Christian Leitner.
Well, I thought somebody was on the rim as that ball was still in the cylinder. Yeah, a little contact from Hunter, not called. No, that's well off the cylinder, so they got, you said Christian coming over the back.
Yeah, they called it on Leitner. And we see some subs coming in now for Orlando, including number 31, Britton Johnson. Tracy McGrady gets a blow with 3:22 to go in the quarter. McGrady with 24 points in the half. And Juwan Howard at the free throw line. Jay has 7 points so far in this game and 4 rebounds. Andrew DeClerc also checking back in. So Juwan Howard at the line. Season high of 26 against Sacramento back on March 7th. Juwan now in his 10th season in the league. From Michigan. Hunter on the free throw line and not Juwan Howard. And And Hunter, the worst free throw shooter on the team at 34%. And now they will let Johnson come back in. But they switch free throw shooters. So Stephen Hunter in his third year from DePaul to the line. Magic have won 13 of 14 games against the Wizards here in Orlando. Last season they split 4 games. Magic won the first 2 by 6 in Orlando and by 17 here. Wizards came back to take the final 2 games at MCI Center by 15 and by 1.
In fact, if you carry it back a little further, they won 19 of the last 21 here. So
Mitchell Butler's pass knocked away. Gilbert has it with 6 to shoot. Fires the jumper and hits.
Gilbert Arenas.
15 points for Gilbert Arenas on 6 of 15 shooting. And it's a 12-point Orlando lead. Howard baseline for the jumper, partially blocked, and Juwan gets it back. Now he'll shoot again and miss. Arenas trying to keep the Wizards in this thing. Great move, up and scores. Oh, that was incredible. And he's fouled. That little stutter step, and he can explode.
And he just blew right by. I think that was Stevenson.
Yeah. Wizards cut the lead to 10 with 2.5 to.
That's right.
So Gilbert Arenas will go to the free throw line. Gilbert having a nice first half himself with 17 points. 2 of 4 from the free throw line, has a couple of rebounds and an assist. And give Gilbert 18 points now in the game. Washington on a 7-1 run in the last minute and 10. And Tracy McGrady has been out of the lineup in that span. He has 24 points. And now T-Mac back in the game to Stevenson. Deshaun had it knocked away and stolen by the Wizards.
It looked like Gilbert hit that ball between Tracy McGrady's legs and just kept running.
Juan Dixon.
2
into
minutes.
Haywood.
Less than 2 minutes remaining
To
in the
Mitchell
half.
Butler, who dumps inside, and Mitchell draws a foul. It's on Andrew DeClerc. That'll be his 3rd personal foul. Here's another look.
Watch him step between the 2 defenders. He knows he's going to get a foul. He goes right into DeClerc. Could have called it on Stevenson as well.
Mitchell Butler brought to training camp this summer. Not drafted out of college, but you remember the Bullets signed him as a free agent in September of 1993 on a roster with 16 guaranteed contracts as they made room for him on the team. And because of that, told me before the season, I'm forever indebted to the organization. Played 3 seasons for the Bullets from 93 to 96. And the Bullets traded him in July of 96 to Portland for Rod Strickland and Harvey Grant. Of course, Rasheed Wallace coming in there, and now Mitchell called for a foul.
It's very quietly creeping back into this game, only down by 7. Mitchell going for the steal, thought he had a good position in terms of fronting that pass and even went for the steal, but that right arm tucked a little bit too far on the jersey of Tracy McGrady.
Tracy McGrady, who played in his 4th All-Star game this year in Los Angeles, now in his 7th season in the league. He's went to high school in Durham, but he grew up about 40 miles from here in a town that's about halfway between here and Tampa. Wow.
1 of 2.
McGrady 3 of 6 from the line tonight, has 25 points. Christian Laettner, meantime, 3 of 7 from the field, has 8 points in this game. Here's Arenas for another jumper, and he got it.
Gilbert Arenas.
20 points in the half for Gilbert Arenas. And it's a 6-point Orlando lead, and foul called inside by Derek Stafford.
Foul on number number 44, Christian Leitner.
Leitner picks up his second personal, and it will send Juwan Howard to the line.
Howard, 22.
Oh, here Gilbert has Teron Lou on him. Teron very strong, but Gilbert equally as strong, but also has about 3 or 4 inches over Teron, and you can see him just raise up and drop the jumper on him.
Juwan makes the free throw, played his first 6+ years in D.C. 3 teams the last 3+ years, Dallas, Denver, Orlando. In fact, up until a few days ago, the Wizards had the Magic had 3 former Wizards on the roster with Juwan, T. Lou, and Rod Strickland, but Rod is gone, and he's doing well in Toronto so far.
Moving on to greener pastures. Where's that, Toronto, right?
Right, they basically gave him the opportunity to go play with a playoff-bound team. 7 to shoot. Howard. Well, it looked like contact to me, no call. Leitner couldn't draw the foul, and here's T. Lou.
Well, that was tough. That was a tough no call there. I thought Christian did a real good job of working and drawing the contact.
Howard stolen by Arenas. Great defense by Gilbert, and they work to give and go, and Arenas scores.
Boy, Gilbert has some really quick and powerful hands. He just cleanly stripped that last ball from Juwan Howard.
Averages 1.7 steal a game. Mitchell Butler almost got one. Cross court, T. Lou for the long jumper. No good. DeClerc tips it to Stevenson. And they'll pull it out and play for the final shot of the period. Give it to the man, T-Mac, with 25 points in the half.
They want to switch off and get Mitchell Butler on him.
Lou for the long jumper. In and out, no good. DeClerc is there. He misses a short shot, and the Wizards knock the ball out of bounds with just under 3 seconds to play.
Yeah, 2.9 to be exact. Let's hope that missed possession doesn't come back and bite them in this last 2.9 seconds. A lob.
And the basket. Well, you called it, Phil. Just what you didn't want to happen.
I mean, you've got to realize that Tracy McGrady is the focal scoring point at any place he is on the court. You've got to feel like he's in danger. You saw it setting up. Nobody put a body on him to move him out. See right here. In fact, Leitner kind of backed off of him, it looked like.
McGrady 11 of 15 in the game and has 28 points in the half. 2 seconds for Washington. Stolen by Howard. Good if it goes, and he missed it.
The score at the end of the first half.
Well, the Magic built a 15-point lead, but the Wizards managed to whittle that down on a 13-7 run since that 15-point lead. And at the break, it is Orlando on top 49-40. Halftime in Central Florida as we send you back to our Comcast Sports.